The towering glass building of Carter Enterprises reflected the morning sun, a symbol of success built through years of dedication. Inside the luxurious CEO office, Michael Carter, a sharp-dressed, confident black man in his mid-40s, sat across from his mother, Evelyn Carter. Evelyn, in her late 60s, carried herself with quiet dignity. Despite her age, her eyes held the wisdom of a woman who had seen life in its rawest form. She had worked multiple jobs to raise Michael, instilling in him the values of hard work and integrity. No, Michael leaned forward, concern evident in his voice. Mom, I built this company on the foundation of respect and equality. But lately, I've been hearing things. Evelyn raised an eyebrow. What kind of things? Michael exhaled, rubbing his temple. Employees being mistreated, especially those in lower positions. Disrespect, unfair treatment, even racism. It's unacceptable. But the problem is, I can't catch them in the act. Evelyn listened carefully, nodding. She knew the weight of discrimination. She had fought through it all her life. You want to know the truth, son? She said firmly. Then you can't sit in this office and wait for it. You have to step into their world. Michael's eyes lit up with realization. That's exactly why I need you. Evelyn tilted her head, amused. Me? I need someone they won't recognize. Someone who will see their true colors. I want you to go undercover as a janitor. Experience it firsthand. If things are as bad as I suspect, they'll show their real faces when they think no one important is watching. Evelyn chuckled, shaking her head. Michael, I raised you to be bold, but this is risky. Mom, I trust you more than anyone. You've always told me that true power isn't in a title. It's in how you treat people. I need to see if my employees understand that too. Evelyn sat back, thinking for a moment. Then a slow smile spread across her face. Well then, she said, I guess it's time to pick up a mop. Michael smiled back. He knew his employees had no idea what was coming. Wearing a faded blue janitor's uniform and an old pair of sneakers, Evelyn Carter stepped into Carter Enterprises under a new identity, Martha Williams. Her once elegant posture was now slightly hunched, her confident gaze lowered. To everyone around her, she was nothing more than an elderly cleaning lady starting a new job. As she pushed her mop bucket across the gleaming marble floor of the lobby, she observed. Employees hurried past without a second glance, too caught up in their work to notice her presence. But not everyone ignored her. A young receptionist, Emily, flashed her a warm smile. Good morning. Let me know if you need anything. Evelyn nodded, touched by the kindness. A junior accountant, Jason, also greeted her politely. But then came the others. Near the elevators, a pair of men in expensive suits smirked as they watched her struggle with the heavy bucket. Guess they'll hire just about anyone these days, one muttered under his breath. The other chuckled. People like her should stick to cleaning floors. That's what they're made for. Evelyn's grip on the mop tightened. She had faced these kinds of comments her whole life, but hearing it inside her son's company made her heart ache. Then she met Ethan Parker, the floor manager, a tall, broad-shouldered man in his late 30s with an air of arrogance. He spotted Evelyn moving too slowly and stormed over. Hey, are you deaf or just slow? He barked, making the entire office turn toward them. Evelyn kept her voice steady. I'm just trying to be thorough, sir. Ethan scoffed. Thorough, lady. Your job is to clean, not hold up traffic. Move faster or you won't last the week. He laughed, shaking his head as he turned to his colleagues. Unbelievable. Can't find decent workers anymore. Some employees looked uncomfortable, but no one spoke up. Evelyn lowered her gaze, but inside she was fuming. This man, this so-called leader, was humiliating her without a second thought. He didn't know who she was, but soon enough, he would. Over the next few days, Evelyn, disguised as Martha, witnessed the true colors of the employees at Carter Enterprises. She had hoped that her son's company, built on respect and equality, would reflect his values. But what she saw was far from it. The cold receptionist. Katie, the receptionist who once greeted her politely, changed her behavior as soon as she realized Evelyn was just a janitor. One morning, Evelyn was wiping down the reception desk when Katie tossed a stack of used coffee cups toward her without a word. The cups barely missed Evelyn's hands, spilling leftover coffee onto the counter. "Clean that up, quickly," Katie snapped, not even looking at her. Evelyn took a deep breath. A please would be nice. Katie rolled her eyes. "You're paid to clean, not to give attitude. Just do your job and stop wasting time." Evelyn clenched her jaw but remained silent. This wasn't just disrespect. It was entitlement. The ruthless manager. The worst of them all was Ethan Parker, the floor manager. He seemed to take pleasure in making her life miserable. Every time she finished a task, he'd find a reason to criticize her work. "You missed a spot, Martha," he sneered one afternoon, pointing to an imaginary speck on the floor. "Redo the whole hallway." Evelyn glanced at her aching hands. "Sir, I just finished the entire floor." "Did I ask for an excuse?" Ethan interrupted, his tone sharp. "If you can't keep up, maybe this isn't the job for you." Then, without reason, he added extra shifts to her schedule, making her stay late while others went home on time. It was a clear abuse of power. Evelyn felt anger bubbling inside her. If he could treat an elderly woman like this, how did he treat others beneath him? The racist team lead. One of the most shocking moments came when she crossed paths with Josh, a team lead in the marketing department. One evening, as she was wiping down tables in the break room, Josh was joking with his colleagues. He didn't bother lowering his voice. "You ever notice how these cleaning people are always the same type?" He chuckled. "Like what? They can't do anything else?" One of his colleagues looked uncomfortable. "Josh, maybe—" "Nah, I'm just saying," Josh interrupted. "They come here, take these low-end jobs, and then act like they deserve respect. Pathetic." Evelyn's grip tightened around the rag in her hands. If only he knew who he was talking about. A glimpse of hope. Alex. Not everyone in the company was like this. One afternoon, while carrying a heavy mop bucket up the stairs, Evelyn struggled to keep her balance. That's when Alex, a young IT specialist, noticed her. Without hesitation, he rushed over to help. "Here, let me take that," he said, grabbing the bucket before she could protest. Evelyn was taken aback. "Oh, that's really kind of you." Alex smiled. "My grandmother used to clean houses when I was a kid. I know how hard this work is." Evelyn nodded, deeply touched. It was a stark contrast to the cruelty she had faced. Tension builds. Later that night, as Evelyn sat alone in the janitor's closet, she reflected on everything she had seen. Some people were kind, but the majority treated her as if she were invisible, or worse, like she was beneath them. She leaned back against the cold wall, staring at the ceiling. "If they knew I was the CEO's mother, they would have acted differently," she murmured to herself. "But that's the problem, isn't it? When they think no one important is watching, their true selves come out." And she had seen enough. For days, Evelyn had observed, endured, and analyzed. She had seen employees for who they really were, the kind ones like Alex, and the cruel ones like Ethan and Josh. But nothing had prepared her for what happened next. One afternoon, Evelyn was mopping the hall near the break room when she heard raised voices. Curious, she stepped closer. Inside, Ethan and Josh were standing over a young black employee, Derek, a junior accountant. He looked visibly uncomfortable, his fists clenched. "I don't care what you say," Josh scoffed, smirking. "You should be grateful you even have this job." Derek's voice was calm but firm. "All I'm saying is that I deserve credit for my work. That project was mine, but you put your name on it." Ethan laughed. "And who's going to believe you over Josh? Maybe you should focus on keeping your job instead of complaining." Josh sneered. "Exactly. We could replace you in a second." Evelyn's stomach twisted. This wasn't just workplace bullying. It was pure exploitation. Derek took a step back, shaking his head. "This isn't right, and you know it." Josh leaned in closer, voice dripping with condescension. "Listen, Derek, you people always act like victims. Maybe instead of whining, you should work harder." Evelyn's hands curled into fists around the mop handle. She had seen enough, but she held herself back. "Not yet. That evening, Evelyn was cleaning the top floor when she accidentally pushed open a door. It was the CEO's office. She had meant to clean the hallway, but the door had been slightly open, and she instinctively nudged it wider. Just as she was about to turn back, a furious voice thundered behind her. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" Evelyn turned around to see Ethan storming toward her, his face red with rage. "This is the CEO's office," he barked. "You have no right to be here." Before Evelyn could explain, Ethan grabbed her by the arm and shoved her backward. She stumbled, barely catching herself. "People like you belong downstairs, scrubbing floors, not snooping around places you don't belong," Ethan spat. For a second, the room went completely silent. Evelyn felt her heart pounding in her chest. She wasn't angry because he had insulted her. She was angry because this was how he treated people he thought were beneath him. He had no idea who she was. No idea that the woman he had just shoved and humiliated was the mother of the very man who signed his paychecks. Evelyn straightened her uniform, took a deep breath, and walked away without a word. Because soon Ethan Parker was going to regret every single thing he had done. The next morning, an unusual tension filled the office. The staff exchanged nervous glances as an unexpected announcement rang through the intercom. "All employees, report to the boardroom immediately." Ethan frowned. "What's going on?" Katie shrugged, adjusting her blazer. "No idea, but if the CEO's calling a meeting this early, it must be serious." Josh scoffed. "Maybe someone's getting promoted." They had no idea. Inside the boardroom, employees settled into their seats. Michael Carter, the CEO, stood at the front, his arms crossed, eyes cold and unreadable. Beside him, a familiar figure sat quietly. At first, nobody recognized her. Then, Evelyn stood up. But this time, she wasn't wearing her janitor's uniform. She was dressed in an elegant suit, her posture straight, radiating confidence. Whispers rippled through the room. Katie's face turned pale. Ethan and Josh stiffened. Michael's voice was calm but deadly. "Let me introduce you to someone very important." He turned to Evelyn. "My mother." The room went silent. Katie's mouth fell open. Josh gripped the edge of his chair. Ethan's confidence crumbled in an instant. "Mr. Carter, Ethan started, but Michael cut him off. "Not another word." He scanned the room, his expression unreadable. My mother came here undercover to see how my employees treat others. Not the executives, not the shareholders, but the janitors, the cleaners, the ones you think are beneath you." Silence. Michael's voice hardened. "And she was treated like dirt," Katie stammered. I didn't know." Michael's eyes snapped to her. "Exactly. You didn't know. And yet you felt it was okay to be rude to someone you thought was just a janitor." Katie's lips quivered. Josh tried to laugh it off. "Look, man, it was just a misunderstanding." Michael's voice boomed through the room. "A misunderstanding? Calling my mother someone who belongs on the floors? Stealing credit from Derek? Shoving my mother out of my own office? That's a misunderstanding." Josh and Ethan went pale. Evelyn finally spoke, her voice calm but piercing. "People like you don't deserve to lead." Michael nodded. Then he turned to security. "Escort Ethan and Josh out of the building. They're fired, effective immediately." A gasp swept through the room. Ethan jumped up. "Wait, you can't." Michael's stare froze him in place. "Watch me." The guards grabbed Ethan in Josh's arms. As they were dragged toward the door, Josh yelled in desperation, "You'll regret this." Michael didn't even blink. "No, I won't." The employees sat in stunned silence. Michael exhaled and scanned the room. "Let today be a lesson." He paused. Then his voice softened. "Alex, Derek, and those who showed kindness, you have nothing to worry about." Alex smiled, relieved. Derek nodded, respect in his eyes. Michael turned back to the rest. "From now on, this company will only have employees who understand one thing, respect." He glanced at Evelyn, a small smile playing on his lips. "And thanks to my mother, I know exactly who deserves to be here." The message was clear. And in that moment, the real change had begun. The tension in the room finally settled. but the impact of what had just happened would be felt for years to come. Michael turned to Alex, the only employee who had treated Evelyn with respect. You didn't know who she was, and still, you chose kindness. Alex shifted nervously. I just believe in treating everyone the right way, sir. Michael smiled. And that's exactly why I need more people like you leading this company. The room went silent again. Then, I'm promoting you to senior management. Alex's eyes widened. Sir, don't know what to say. Say yes. Michael chuckled. You earned it. The rest of the employees clapped, some out of genuine happiness, others still in shock at how quickly the tables had turned. As the employees left the boardroom, Evelyn and Michael finally had a moment alone. She looked at him, her eyes filled with pride. You did the right thing today. Michael sighed, shaking his head. I just wish I had seen it sooner. Evelyn placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. The important thing is, you saw it now. Michael smiled. You really had me worried for a moment. You took on a whole company by yourself. Evelyn chuckled. Oh, please. I've dealt with worse. They both laughed, but deep down, Michael knew this was a lesson he would never forget. As they walked toward the office window, looking out at the employees leaving for the day, Michael spoke the words that would define his company from this day forward. People should never be judged by their uniforms, but by their character. Evelyn nodded. And now, thanks to you, this company will finally run the way it should. The screen fades to black, leaving the audience with a question. If you were in that office, how would you have treated the janitor? A powerful ending. A lesson learned.